YouTube. It's what is this? Tuesday? Wednesday? I don't know what day it is. Anyway, I wasn't gonna do anything on the sawmill today, even though it's a nice day and I have a load of stuff to cut. But when I was up trimming my grass around all my plants and everything, a guy brought this piece of white oak, 19 inches in diameter at the small end. The big end was, I think, close to 28 inches. But yeah, it's his log, and the guy is a surveyor. He's a customer of mine, and he wants me to cut this into 1x2s for him. Now it's his own log, and I know why he wants them cut like this, out of this type of wood, but what we have here is, it's an 8-foot log, but he's actually short an inch, which isn't going to hurt him because he's putting the stakes, to drive stakes into the ground 4 foot long. So I'll just cut this thing in half and, cut the stakes to half, put a point on them, and he'll be happy. But the thing is it's white oak, and I don't think I've seen a nicest piece of white oak like this since I can remember cutting. I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable. I haven't come across one knot yet on all 4 sides. Now the thing is that I've only gotten to the cant. That's the cant there. The flitches I'm going to get rid of for firewood, and there'll be a couple of 1x2s that come out of that. Quite a few pieces of wood going to come out of this thing. The other thing that I want to say to you is that I'm still using the blade that I hand sharpened. Now I hand sharpened this blade twice, and I've got a beautiful cut here. A lot of times when you cut something as hard as white oak, and believe me, white oak is really hard, when you get knots in it, sometimes the blade hits that knot and has a tendency to ride up or down depending upon how you hit the knot. For these, there's been no knots at all so far, so the cut is unbelievably flat. I mean, even with a brand new blade, you couldn't get any better than what I have there. It's flat. And it's mainly because the log has no knots in it. The blade is pretty sharp, and I'm taking my time going through it. And the grain is nice and straight on it. So the thing is to cut this into 1x2s is, wow. If it was my log, there's no way I'd cut it into 1x2. But it's not my log, it's his, and this is what he wants. And like I say, I know why he wants it. He's sick and tired of hitting stakes that split in half. And white oak is not going to do that. White oak is going to stay together for him once he pounds them into the ground. So anyway, this is what we've got today. And I decided to cut it. He asked me if I'd do it. He's running out of the stakes, and I told him I would do it. So it looks like it's been drying a little bit. Not too long, but a little. And so I'm going to cut this into 1x, and then I'll cut it into the 2-inch, and we'll go from there. Nice looking boards though. But I'll tell you what, this thing was so heavy, I had to roll it with the backhoe. I could not roll that with the cant hook. I would say, and even now I can barely roll it, I would say that a white oak, 19 inches in diameter, you're probably looking at, I don't know, close to 200 pounds a foot, maybe a little less. But at 8 foot long, you're looking at 1,600 pounds, and it's a pretty small, short log. Like I say, it's just under 8 foot. If it was 8 foot long, I think I would buy it from him and give him something else that I have, but he knows what he wants, and this is what it is when somebody knows wood, and the guy does, and so that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be cutting this, like I say, into 1x2s. I'll show you some pictures of the grain as I go. Alright, I cut 4 14-inch wide ones off, and it was really going slow because the cuts are nice, they're nice and flat, they're straight, but it was slow going. So once I got down to about an 8-inch thick cant, I turned it on its edge, and cutting the one by this direction is a little bit easier. There's no other reason for me to turn it other than it's easier to cut. And since I'm cutting them all into 1x8 or 1x2 anyhow, you know, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, that's where I'm at the moment. White oak. cut us a 12-inch forge yet. Well guys, it's the end of the day for me. I think it's 5 o'clock or 4:30, somewhere in there. There's exactly 200 of them in there once I cut them in half, so that's 100 pieces right there, stacks of 10. Wasn't too bad cutting it, a little time consuming. I think I started around 3. So what time is it over there? 4:30. And I had stopped for a little bit to get something to drink, so about an hour and a half to cut them, which isn't not that bad. Gotta figure out how many board feet there is there altogether, just to see how I made out with the price I quoted the guy. That'll probably be okay.